Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for a brand new video going into transfers again, but this time we're talking about players who you think should be going out in January. I've got 5 names that I'm going to bring up today. See if you agree. If you got alternatives, let me know in the comments. But before I continue, please like the video. It's free to do, helps out the channel. Thank you to Ish, Jason, and Parrot House for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And of course, as always, big up to each and every member of the channel. You make this thing go. Now, listen, people, I've got to say, when we had the games between Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, man, those days were going quick. But this game coming up against Brentford, it seems to be going real slow. I don't know how you're feeling, or maybe you're glad for the break after such an intense period of games. But yeah, this one just seems like it's been taking forever to come around. But look, we'll get into the presser comments, which I think will be tomorrow. And then we'll do a preview and, of course, the live match reaction after the game. So stay locked into the channel. But look, this is about transfers, and we're talking about players that need to go out in order to bring in players in, and also upgrading in certain areas as well. Now, listen, I've got 5 names here. It's highly unlikely in a January window we're going to get 5 outgoings. It's just January windows don't usually go like that for many clubs, let alone ours. So I'm just putting up names here where I wouldn't mind seeing a different combination of these names leaving, as long as they're replaced with better players. Now, I need to make that clear. Better players, not just any old players, not just players for the sake of it, but better players. So, and I'm going to try and keep it as realistic as possible. I know a lot of you will be saying Brendan Aronson, and you're free to do so. But I'm thinking with the manager staying and Brendan Aronson performing the way he's performed under Danny Farker's eyes, I think he stays here. So I'm not going to put Brendan Aronson here. If I was doing it the way I want to do it, this video would be an hour long. Okay, let's be real here. But I'm going to try and do it as realistic as possible. But when you talk about Brendan Aronson, you do have to speak about the other one, and that is Jack Harrison. Now, the reason why I'm going to put him in here, because even though Farker appreciates Jack Harrison and loves his work rate, I think it's been evident for when Jack Harrison is on the pitch, he offers nothing. And I'm not even talking about the horror show when he was putting that left wing back, and that isn't his fault. That's the manager's fault. Not even talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. He does nothing for the team. So I do think that Leeds United need to explore a move for this guy. He was linked with the MLS in the summer. I think that is his best bet, or maybe go Celtic or something. Go somewhere where I think you can flourish. The Premier League is not for Jack Harrison. And if we're going to get any kind of value back, it has to be soon before he depreciates even further. And I think a January move would do him good. I think, the whole thing of the club as well, trying to force feed him into promotional pictures, whether it be, giving little girls his shirt or in the Christmas promos. It's obvious what you're doing, okay? But it doesn't work. He's not a Premier League player. And just imagine if you could shift his wages out. Just think about just the wages. Even if you just get him out on loan, look what that could possibly bring back in the January window. Someone that can actually help us for the remainder of the season. So Jack Harrison, for me, is one where I think that even Daniel Farker has to look at it and go, I can probably do better here. And if not Daniel Farker, the people above him, they've got to realize that he is not it. And one thing I will say as well, people, is incomings. The club I've got to rebuild my trust with them when it comes to incomings. I need to see a name where I go, we signed them, and I go, that's amazing, or that's really good considering where we are. They broke it a little bit for me in the summer, but if they can recognize their mistakes and say, okay, maybe this isn't it, that's a way of mending fences too for me. So Jack Harrison is the first one. Second one is Joel Peru. Quite obvious why he's not getting game time here. We've literally got a £15 million asset just depreciating as the games go by. He's getting 3-4 minutes as a sub in games. That's doing him no good. It's doing Leeds United no good either, because it's not like he's coming on and scoring and at least like getting his value up. He's just coming on and just having short cameos. So Joel Peru, I think it's just great for everybody if he leaves in January. It'd be good for him, for his career. It'd be good for the club to get in a decent transfer fee at this stage rather than leaving it past January and it continuing the way it is and it just becomes worthless by next summer. So I think it would just be good for everybody if they can facilitate this move. You allow Joel Peru to leave, and then you get in another striker that you actually use. So that's where I go with that one. Again, it's nothing against Joel Peru. I think he is a talented forward, but maybe it will be suiting best in another league. Or maybe there's a championship club that will take a risk on him, or a chance on him, I should say. But that's if he's willing to go there. There's no saying that he wants to drop down to the championship. Maybe it is a case of finding him a home in Germany or back home in Holland at this stage of his career. But yeah, I think Joel Peru is a good one to, get off the books and replace with another forward. Willie Nanto is another one, and that's just purely on the basis of how much money we could get for him compared to what we paid, and also getting in another player in that attacking area that can possibly offer a bit more. And at this stage as well, has to be said, be a bit more reliable when it comes to his availability and fitness. And that's the thing for me. I know there's a sell-on clause to his previous club. That will be something the club will have to work out with the buying club. There was rumors of Saudi interest in the summer and a couple of months ago. If we can capitalize on that and he's willing to do so, I would at this point sell Willie Nanto, get a good fee, and replace him with attacking players that will probably benefit us going forward for the rest of the season and beyond. And that is just me there. One other one, and I think this might surprise people, but hear me out. Ilya Gruev, who's actually done nothing wrong. He's a steady player, isn't he? We know what we're getting with Ilya Gruev. He's a steady Eddie. He's going to make tackles, progress the ball a little bit in terms of just passing forward, but he is more of a pass to the side. And the reason why I've got him here is because they're not going to sell Sean Longstaff, who's injured, currently injured anyway. And I think we've got too many of those midfielders. I think we should sell Gruev and get in another midfielder who's more of a hybrid 8/10. And with Gruev as well, I do think you can actually at least double the money we paid. I think we paid 5 million for him. I think we can get at least double for that, because he's still putting in good performances at this level. But I think it's just a squad makeup thing. We saw in the last game. I know we could have put Brendan in there, but Daniel Farker didn't do that. He had to rest Tanaka. We had to put in Gruev in there. When you've got Gruev, Stack, and Ampadu, it's just too much. Now we're going to need options in there, and that's when Sean Longstaff comes back. He can be that 6. He is not an 8 in any shape, way, or form. So Gruev would be the one for me that goes out, and that would allow us to probably get in another midfielder who can probably give us a little bit more going forward in that central area. What say you? Next one, it's an unlikely one though, with 6 months left on his contract, is Ilya Melier. I think it's pretty obvious why we're not playing him. He's got no future at the football club. Recently came back on the bench purely because Cardalo had a small injury, but his contract is up. If they can get a small transfer fee, they've done well. But I'll say this: they should have sold him last summer. I can't get over why they didn't accept that bid from Marseille. It was perfect. You could have got. I went through this on so many videos. How many goalkeepers were available for free on loan that would have been adequate, more than adequate in the championship, and they let it go. And now we're at the case now where Eli Melier can sign a pre-contract with somebody at the end of December, 1st of January, and sit on the bench for the rest of the season, or even sit in the stands at sometimes and just leave for free. And it shouldn't have come to this. So Leeds United, if they can do this, get a small fee in the January window and let him go. But yeah, poorly managed. But yeah, Eli Melier is another one. And another one here, just purely on the basis because we need another left back who is an actual left back, and that is Sam Byram. I don't know where he'd go. He's had his appearance in the Premier League. He's done the whole, playing in the Premier League with Leeds thing, great. But we need another viable left back option for Goodmanson when he's going to be out. He needs competition when he's out injured, suspended, whatever it may be. But we need an actual competitive left back in there for Gabriel. So Sam Byram, I don't know where he'd go, probably back down to the Championship, if anything. But yeah, that would be my 5 out of all the names that we've got who I think are realistic to go. But what say you people? Who would you try and move on in January? Is a tough window to try and move players on, but who would you move on? Let me know in the comments, and of course like the video before you go. As I say, free to do, and it helps out the channel. I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.